It's radical listening, it's deep listening. And it all started 15 years ago when I was realizing that my audiences were feeling limited by how much they knew about music history and music theory. And it was interesting because when we were talking about what they actually heard, there was a sense that you had to hear the right thing. And I really wanted to know what they actually heard. So I started doing workshops where I wanted people to be empowered to think about listening, not just in one way, but in multiple approaches. Because I feel like the strongest listening, the strongest understanding, is when we intertwine a lot of different ways of listening into one. And so this is collective listening tonight. And I have always liked to think of music appreciation as much more than the facts. It's demonstrating at the piano, it's using your imagination, it's thinking about how to ask questions. What are the interesting questions that come up for each piece? So when I say conscious listening, I'm talking about really a skill set of making connections with the music, with ourselves, with others, and with life. And I'm hoping that these ideas are things that you can just take away after tonight and apply it to anything else in life too. This is really important to me because I feel that listening is very important to our health, is very important to the health of democracy, to civil discourse. And I feel like when there's absolutely nothing in our control, we can still control how we listen and how we engage. And yet, I think that as a public society, we often are not speaking about or being aware of the deficit of listening that is happening right now. And so, where is all this going? I've been campaigning for listening skills, how important it is and how feasible it is for everyone to take part in it in some way. The miracle of music, I think, is that it is both direct and indirect in how we approach listening and communication. And I think it's a secret power that music has. It can get into places and we can play with it in a way that is safe and not threatening. Where I like to see it go is to build communities. And I have a wonderful community online. Some of my conscious listeners are here tonight. Hello, hello, see you next Saturday. They're also coming with me to New York because I'm very excited to have my first Conscious Listening Piano Festival in March. And the whole idea is to find multiple points of engagement for people whether it's through my performance teaching or actual workshops of listening, that everyone will find different ways of coming to the same idea of how do you make all these connections so that your listening is always multidimensional. And if it is for you something that just is about sitting and letting the sound wash over you, then that's enough, that's great. But if it is possible to try out something different as well as what you're comfortable with, then we are expanding, we're connecting to how other people are listening. So in the spirit of building community and exploring together tonight, collectively, will you please say hello to someone you don't know? Hi there! So let's warm up our listening here. We're going to use a quick, I call it my starter checklist. It's a 4-step method, and it's just 4 words. Describe, focus, respond, breathe. So we're going to describe what you hear using whatever words come to mind. Focus on just one element for a while. Stay on one thing. And then respond with your personal experiences or imagination. And then the last thing is to breathe, to digest it. And there's so many different ways that we can breathe with music. So why don't we try breathing with the harmony, for instance. So let's say we had a 5-1 chord. So this is a 5 chord. Breathe in and expand with me, and then feel it resolve. Exhale. Do you feel that how the tones and the frequencies work together to make you feel like you want to go somewhere and you want to then relax because you've arrived home. Now, what if you were a composer and you wanted to make a bigger statement? You wanted maybe a longer phrase. You could try something like, and then if you really wanted your audience to pay attention, maybe you can do something even bigger. And the last part was from the Beatles or something. So in Germany, the word ballade was used to describe folk narrative poetry. So a poem that tells some sort of a story. And because it's music, it's abstract, you guys are really creating the story in your head as you listen to the sound. Now, this was composed, Brahms composed this in 1893, shortly before he published his 49 German folk song adaptations. And if it sounds foreign, well, then it should, because it's from a different century, it's a different culture, it's a different language. So, what kind of questions can we find to connect with it? Well, let's go with our starter checklist. Let's describe, let's say, the opening theme. So I'd love to invite you to think about what are some words that come up when you hear the opening theme. Dance, absolutely. There's a lot of upbeats and downbeats, which is really great for breathing along with that. Anyone else? Yes? Rambunctious. Rambunctious, yes, definitely, absolutely. Anyone else?
Passion.
Passion and
Some kind of holiday.
A holiday. Yeah, a celebration, a holiday, something special, special event. Yeah, that's great. Could you hear it as a tragic hero? I don't know. Well, let's see. The middle section, so there is a contrasting section, and it sounds like a completely different world. And let's see what you guys think about this section. What are some words that come up? Something different? Love. Yeah. A journey. Yeah. Did I see a hand? Pensive. Thank you. Sleepy. Sleepy. Yeah. Could be dreamy. Could be awake in your sleep. Could be relaxing. Yeah, great. Now let me give you an option. I could play it like this. That is your option A. Here's your option B. Okay, who likes option A? Okay, who likes option B? Wow, okay. I like to call option B the wilt, which is right before you get to the top, where you think it's going to crescendo, we do a wilt. Okay, so you guys are really romantic, I think. I think that's the more maybe romantic option. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the moment. And it does happen a couple times, so maybe we'll hear it a few different ways. What do you think happens at the end? What's going on there?
Fading away.
Fading away. One question could be, is this tragic hero fading away? Or is the movie fading away? Or is the campfire fading away? What kind of fading away is happening here?